How are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
You having a good day?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Listen.
Hey, Obi. Hey, Patrima. They don't like that. I don't know why this damn camera's been seizing up like that. It's not overheating, so I think it's this 5G bullshit. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, okay, Obi. Oh, thank you. This is all they're Hmongs actually. They've got like Thai, Chinese, Penang curry, that kind of thing. I hear Elvis singing Christmas songs in the background though. He's singing Blue Christmas. Oh, good for you. I wonder where Neff is. I'd buy him a nice dinner. He seems like he's been a little down lately. Hey, Meat Candy, you still on here? Oh, that's okay. Okay, I'll do that. If you see her again, tell her to send me her PayPal. Yeah, it's been different places over the years. Hey Lulu, how you doing? Where you been lately? Blue Christmas. Now send me your PayPal. Get a good quality dinner, the things to make a dinner, whatever. I don't care how much it costs. Like top flight meat, top lobster or whatever. Oh yeah, a lot of places up here like this. No, we don't get too many of those. Hardly ever. What does happen, though, that I hear more about is guys falling out of tree stands. Not killing them, but you know, messes them up. Now, the guy at the post office I'm friends with, his brother got shot deer hunting about 30 years ago. Never caught the guy. Just got shot in the middle of a field. He just died here a few years ago. Hey, Luca. Oh, you have on Saturday? I had a neighbor, believe it or not, in this town I live in now, shoot and kill somebody back in like 71. Small world. You can actually Google it. I found it, and they took the guy. They didn't even have a hospital here at the time. They took the guy to Gladwin. I remember my dad telling me that his insurance, homeowner's insurance, paid for it. Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, Neff. Do you have a PayPal address, Neff? Do you have a PayPal? Yeah, I ate my soup. Yep. No kidding, Brian. Wow. Hey, Marjo. Yeah, soup's good here. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why this camera's been locking up. Yep. Here's your tip.
Thank you. 1643.
Do those owners even work there at the party store anymore? I never see them.
Yeah. They Terry's there every morning because she does all the paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
And this time of year, Mark's in and out because of hunting season.
Oh. How's he doing?
He's good.
Is his disease progressed or is he hanging in there?
It's progressing. He's got
yeah.
the shakes really bad sometimes,
Oh, poor
but
guy.
it depends on if his medicine wants to take effect that day or not.
Yeah.
But most of the time, he's the one that does all the fruits and stuff we keep in that mini fridge.
Yeah.
He's the one that does that and the parfaits and all that.
Well, he hangs in there, doesn't he?
Yep.
Not
Gotta
feeling
keep
sorry
kicking
for
and
himself.
screaming.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
Have a good day, you guys.
There's Brooke and her new little baby.
Oh, that's cute.
It
Is
is
it,
so
what is it, a
cute.
guinea pig?
Yes.
Oh.
She named it Lilith.
Oh. Have a good day, you guys.
Yeah, see you later. It's so cute.
This is like the simple days here, like out in the middle of nowhere. This could be anywhere, rural, anywhere. Like just nice, basic We get a kook here and there, but they're far and few between. Just hard-working people. I was talking about the guy that owns the party store. He's got Parkinson's, and well, he's still working 50 hours a week. Man, when you're from a town like this and you got Parkinson's, it seems like it's different than someone that had money that got Parkinson's in Palm Beach. I'm telling you, it's a different attitude. There's something to it, like Meat Candy says, retrain your brain. And I'm going to stop and get you a treat because you've been a good girl today. And I said treat earlier and I didn't have one. Because I got a miniature sheepdog. This is a miniature sheepdog that I've bred. They are $9,000. This is a full-size sheepdog that was whittled down over tons of generations. And I'm asking $9,000 for them. Daisy, are you a sheepdog? You ready to party? I'm gonna get you a treat. Atta girl. Good girl. Good girl. You hear that noise? I'll tell you what it is. It's a piece of ice frozen right below the frame that's banging against the tailpipe. And until I drive a while and it gets hot and it melts off, you'd be wondering what the hell it is. This is how I can tell. Another thing, these things creep up on you. You can tell when you're getting old. Now I just blew my whole day on one doctor's appointment. Yeah, she's a good dog. I'm gonna run inside and get her a treat. Maybe see if I can catch them. There's a big flock of geese that landed in one of the open holes of water over at the lake. Look at all the people waiting to get their prescriptions. You know, one thing with this COVID thing, older people that are vulnerable and high risk for other diseases, I guess the drive-through is the way to go. That guy that I sent the title to on the van, I can tell his secretary sent it back requiring a signature. I don't care when I get it, but I'm not sitting around to sign for a title on a van that I'm not probably going to drive for who knows how long. I bet I got a second sticker on my door. Nope, just one. Hey, Alan. Hang on, I'm going to get Daisy a treat. The old genius knows something up. Wow! 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 I just wanted to get Daisy a treat. Oh yeah, they are. My buddy's wife just bought one of those new Blazers, which I think's it's probably the only new car that I think's cool looking. You know how much that thing was? I told him, you are out of your mind. How much you think a new Blazer is? I mean, they got an orange one or red, you know, it's cool as hell looking for a new car. But you couldn't give me one. I would sell it the next day. $49,000. Absolutely no way in hell. Do you know how many transmissions I could buy and alternators and fuel pumps? I'm on fuel pump number 3, alternator number 3, original trans, original radiator, original power steering pump, believe it or not. I did put in a water pump 58,000 miles ago. I get her these same treats all the time. You get them at Walmart. It's got duck, lamb, and beef on a little skinny rawhide. And in the last few months, she doesn't even eat the rawhide. She just eats the good part. You know how you have these thoughts sometimes just pop into your mind. You can't figure out why. I bet it could be my gallbladder. You know why? Because I got up feeling like shit this morning. And you know what I did last night? You guys know this. On my way back from that long drive, I broiled myself 3 lamb chops. And then went to bed 2.5 hours later, high fat. So for some reason I just thought of this. I bet I got my gallbladder's bad. This is a 2003 Astro van. 438,000 miles. I've got a set of winter tires on this, but they're at the end of the road. And I just don't want to, trying to save 50 bucks, kill myself. So I wish I could find him someone local I could give them to. I'm gonna get my second coffee today. I'm gonna party like a rock star. No, I didn't get her. No, you can get that. He was talking to me about that, how it manifests itself. Sometimes the pain goes in other places with people. But the high fat would jive now. Yeah, it was a good time, wasn't it, Brian? Yeah, it really was. Like that bar. I'll tell you one thing though, those people in that bar, I don't know if you could tell while I was video it, but they were looking at me like, what's this guy up to? Did you notice that? I mean, they don't want to say, are you recording this? They know you got your phone in their hand, but they're not sure what you're doing. It was one of those nights. That's it, Paul. Yeah, I didn't really care. I mean, what's the worst thing they're going to say to you? I mean, it was a one-shot deal. I had YouTube people watching. Nothing was getting in my way. I would have said, people, do you know there's people that want to see the inside of this bar? Now sit down and shut up. It's not really pain. It's just not like feeling that good and achy joints. But I'm going to have to keep that journal, Meat Candy says. Here's how my journal would read. Watch Pornhub 2.5 hours. Drank 3 dragon's milk instead of 2. Held the shotgun to my head for a half hour. Tuesday, same as Monday. Wednesday, same as Tuesday. Thursday, same as Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, referred pain, yep. Yeah, no, yeah, referred pain, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting an ultrasound, yep. Neff, send me that PayPal. Treat yourself to a nice dinner. Buy yourself some extra large Prozac. Yeah, be banning me from my chat. Be blocking me. Yeah, thanks, Paul.
What's going on?
How are you?
Back again?
Yeah.
Another one?
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
Put the burners on it.
Put what?
Put the burners on
I
it.
will. I put burners on it. Is that what he said? That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's getting older. I mean, I think you could diagnose me a good way that would be internationally understood by all walks of life with, I think I've got, I don't give a fuck-itis. I swear to God, I don't give a fuck about anything. There's such a fine line between me and like a bad day and a good day. And I think it's just because I don't give a fuck. Really, I mean, nothing excites me anymore. I don't get anything done. I don't even worry about this health stuff. I don't care that much. I mean, I don't, believe me, I don't want to suffer and have to find a home for Daisy and shit like that, but it's nothing at all like when I was 25 and thinking, oh my God. No kidding, Blue. Wow. Did you feel better afterwards? You can always tell Daisy's in a good mood when she's chewing the rawhide part. I suspected for a while she may have one of those stuck in her butt, but I don't think so now. Oh, good for you. That's going to be my new internet scam. Oh, Daisy, you got the small one. Wow. You have a good day. What time are you closing?
5.
All right, almost over.
Will you need another one?
Yeah.
See ya.
All right. Now that girl's Native American, believe it or not. And you'll say, well, why would you believe it or not? Well, because she answered a couple questions one day that gave it away. They said, can I ask you something personal? She said, sure, go ahead. I said, what size bra do you wear? No, I'm just kidding. I said, you're not Native American by chance. She said, how'd you know? I said, well, the way you answered that question when I asked you about. And she said, yeah. She said, everybody thinks I'm Hispanic. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. You want to block me? Yeah. Yeah, right. You know, that's the important thing of a good joke, though, Blue, is you set it up first. Yeah, you can't just come out with it and say it's not as good. You got to set it up. Yeah, they say it's not good for dogs. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm not saying there's not anything better. There are better things for dogs, but rawhide is sold on every pet store everywhere. It's on Chewy.com. It's one of the biggest pet treats ever known for dogs. So I'm not saying it's perfect, but this notion that it's bad for them, don't buy it. You know, I just realized today, based on that one comment, I didn't know Neff was a female. I always thought it was a male. She was a male. It's pretty cool how can we all chat Colorado, Alaska, Ireland. That's why when YouTube pisses me off, I try to look at it like Meat Candy says, I should page back in a journal and understand that I would have no social life without YouTube. And I should just shut my mouth. I should consider a social life because of YouTube and anything else a bonus. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to just consider it like such a big staple of my day-to-day existence, and anything else is a bonus. I think that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I mean, there's always somebody that's coming out of the woodwork that's going to tell you that rawhide's not good. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a couple other things like that. Chocolate isn't good for dogs. I had a stray German Shepherd I found that I was keeping till I found a home for, and that fucker ate 2 full-size dark chocolate wedding cakes and couldn't wait to sink his teeth into a third if I'd have provided it. No problem at all. I had another goddamn dog I found that I was trying to find a home for. It ate a whole box of Sella chocolate covered cherries. Ate the whole goddamn box. Was wagging his tail like a motherfucker. They say chicken bones aren't good for dogs. Man, when I was living in Detroit, there was this dog. That's all that son of a bitch ate was chicken bones. He was the healthiest looking dog I ever saw in my life. I mean, if you tell me a gunshot to the head of a dog's bad, rat poison is good, now we're getting somewhere. But this rawhide, chocolate, chicken bone bullshit, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, seriously, man. You know, that's another thing. Blue moderators, any of these, I don't want to hear the COVID, anti-COVID shot. None of this, the earth flat bullshit. And add that to the thing that these bullshit, horseshit screwballs giving advice about things that are sold everywhere for dogs not being good to them. Yeah, man, we just got to get rid of these jackoffs. Always some expert out there. As Daisy just jumped in back, I keep a water bowl for her all the time now. You'd have thought all these years of having dogs I'd have had a water bowl, but I didn't. I didn't start doing that until after Hilton had this spring. No, I know. I do know that. I've read that about THC and dogs. Yeah. I'll tell you, I got an article sent to me to my doctor buddy that doesn't exactly put THC in a favorable light when it comes to developing brains. It's linked in the same category with alcohol and what it does. Oh, thank you, America. You know, it's funny. I mean, I like doing those videos, and I think they're super cool. It's just my opinion. My videos. But as an example, like the Mackinac Bridge, I mean, if I'd have could have watched those, I may have never done one. But I just love that look. I can't believe that the Chamber of Commerce doesn't have a webcam where I took that one video, that hour and 42-minute long one. I mean, I think they get a ton of people watching. It's just super cool. Now, I'm going to go up there again as soon as like today may have been a good day, although to be honest with you, I don't think that it's been cold enough, long enough for the snow to stick to those columns, the snow and ice. But when they get frozen with ice, it's super cool looking. And I'll tell you another thing, you'll probably notice this. You know, I love GoPros and I use them a lot, but that video was not done with the GoPro. And if I'd have done it with the GoPro, you wouldn't have liked it. Because like I tell people, you got to be close for a GoPro. It makes everything look farther away. You know, some of those videos where it looks like I'm close to the water, I'm not, man. That camera is sitting right on the water's edge, the GoPro. Not that it can't take it, I just try not to get it wet if I don't have it in a case. But the way that I did that Mackinac Island video was that there's about a 20-foot space under there, under the bridge. You're nowhere near the water. And I took my heavy-duty tripod, set it up, my good Canon camera, I zoomed it in so you couldn't see the shoreline. It's going to buffer here a little. Sorry. A better video than a GoPro. Oh, did you, Mary Jo? Yeah, I'll tell you a funny thing about that fly. Go ahead, jump. I'll tell you a funny thing about that fly fisherman thing. And that is that that's truly a world-class... That's a world-class... Look at this deer walking across the street. This is that big female you see all year long. She jumps over this 4-foot fence like it's nothing. Yeah, the reason I got a reason for that. I think the state has really been on this marketing program where they take these like cardboard cutouts and they show the difference in deer over a 5-year period, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. And if you look at the 1 year's rack as horns, antlers, and you look at the 3 year and the 5 year, and it's like massive differences. So they're trying to encourage people. So if you're a typical guy that needs 800 horsepower in your pickup and you're not gay, you want to shoot a big rack. You don't want to be shooting does. And you'll notice that 99.9% of the deer that I get out running around are does. So they could be shot, but they're not, because these macho, testosterone-laced men want bragging rights. And you don't get that by shooting a doe, no matter how big she is. See, now that open spot today is frozen over, so those geese left. Oh, thank you, waiting. No, you're right, meat candy, yeah. Daisy's like a college grad. You want to go out and do a pee-pee? You want to go out there and do a pee-pees? I usually don't park here. She's not stupid enough to go out on the ice. Now see right here, this is probably an inch thick. This is really cool though to me. I've never seen it freeze this much in one night. Now you see right close to me, that you could stand up in. But any further in there, you're going to be over your head. See that area? Here's the funny thing about it. Here's what's weird. This is how I know ice can trick your ass. You know, I'm out here paddling around in my kayak all the time, right? It's also how I got this hernia, I think, lifting that damn trailer on that big one. But anyway, what I'm saying is, traditionally or normally, the shallow water freezes first because the deeper water is moving generally. And you see that open water along the tree line? That's about 2 feet deep. All that open water is super shallow. You see this frozen part right here? All where you see solid white? That's the deepest part of the lake. 60, 70 feet deep. So this is, if you read trying to figure out ice and what's safe and what's not, they tell you all ice treated as if it's unsafe. Here's a perfect example. Where it's shallow, it's open, and where it's super deep, it's froze. And if you believe some of these articles that you read about gauging ice and guessing the safety of ice, you would be 100% wrong if you believed what you read based on what you're seeing right now. Yeah, isn't that really weird? And this water temperature right now, mostly everywhere after this one super cool night, is 33 degrees. And if you're an older male like me, 45 degrees and below, there's a better chance than not, the minute you're submerged, you're going to have a heart attack. I mean, you think about it. You're looking at over a 68 degree difference in a second. So you can imagine what that does to your nervous system and your cardiovascular system. You have a heart attack. You're not going to have a chance to see how far you could swim. Yeah. Well, it's the opposite here. Usually it's the shallow is frozen first. Yeah, this is the opposite. Anywhere else I go, like when I'm up at the Mackinac Bridge, you see that's not frozen. That's because what gets most people, the biggest rule of thumb is water movement. What's the water doing underneath the ice? That's what makes it unsafe. It's not as linked to temperature as you think. I mean, it is, but movement's the big one. You know, this is a lake, which of course isn't getting much movement, minus a bunch of wind. So here you go. It's frozen. Now, when I go over to Tawas Bay tomorrow, it's going to all be open. Why? It's not because the water's any colder or any warmer. It's because it's moving. No, she won't go out there. No way. She won't. Daisy's a smart dog. I'm not saying she couldn't drown, but she's not going out there. I guarantee it. You know, I got a survival order suit, but it's on back order. It's supposed to cover me to 20-degree water. Now, you'd say, well, where in the hell are you going to be in 20-degree water? I'll tell you where. The Bering Sea. When you're crab fishing. You're not going to get that in a freshwater. Because it's moving. It's not going to be 20 degrees. But cold, salt water can be really super cold and not frozen because it's moving. Hi, hon. You having fun? This is where my Gopro fell off of. These ducks are smart, geese, all this stuff. They'll be out there sleeping where a fox or something can't sneak up on them. It's so weird. There's so much waterfall now, particular Canadian geese and ducks that don't migrate. They just stay here all winter. Yeah, she's a big smeller. A lot of chickadees around here too. Hey, Meat Candy, do you have those black cap chickadees up there? See, and even on a day like today, you get trapped out, you get, people die of exposure. There's no wind today. Now, if it was blowing, Daisy'd already want to be in the van. I worked at a wildlife rehab and rehabbed everything. Loons, bald eagles, and a couple fox. You know what's surprising? Those fox can't bite hard at all. They tear their stuff up by twisting and like snapping and tearing, but they can't bite down hard like you think they could. It's really like light. You'll see when they grab something, they hold it down with their feet and like rip it. But they can't, they're not crunching bone or anything like a coyote or a bigger animal. See, now she's looking out there and she's saying, I'm not going on that. We got about 5 inches. Oh, I hear a helicopter coming. He shouldn't be coming from the north, though. If it's a helicopter ambulance, get it on video. Oh, it might be. Yeah, that's a BK-117, but he must have been to a further northern hospital. These medical helicopters, their range is shitty. They can barely make it to West Branch, Ann Arbor, which is only about 153 miles, depending on the wind. Usually it's about a 200-mile range, which is nothing. Ready to go bye-bye, hon? I've got some really cool Cleveland Clinic S-76 helicopter footage. It does, meet. That's also what aviation, if you go up in airplanes, everything looks so organized. Good girl, hon. You know what I got for you too? Another treat. I brought two. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah, you know what's interesting about that snow mustache is I've realized when you compare to other parts of Daisy, that lower jaw, for some reason, is warmer than the other parts where her body would touch the snow. It's weird. It is. I got a temperature monitor that can I'm gonna have to put it on her chin because it's warmer than the other parts. She can roll in the snow and everything, and she'll get up and that snow is always stuck right below that chin. Not anywhere else. It doesn't stick anywhere else except on her feet, but that's only under certain circumstances. But for whatever reason, that is warm there. And it's not like her nostrils are blowing out hot air down low. I can't quite figure it out. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Really, Dragonfly? That sounds like a wives' tale. Yeah, I'd tell you, if you research that dog DNA, though, it's not accurate at all. It's not accurate at all. That's why I didn't order. I would love to know what Daisy is, but if you look at even the better tests, which are around 180, 200 bucks, look at the ratings. People bitch. They know they've been scammed before, so they've sent in ones that were totally false. And sure enough, they got bullshit records back, so I don't trust them. It's not like DNA they use to catch a serial killer or something. It's got to be some half-assed cheap test. Yeah, and you know, you're already spending 180, which you're a little iffy about, right? So people aren't getting a second opinion. They're just going with it. Well, some people have figured them out. Yeah, go on there and look at Chewy.com or any of those and look at the feedback on the DNA tests. Some are better than others, but there's a likelihood that, you know, you're getting like an 8% error rate. Well, what good's that? I mean, the reason I'm paying for it because I want to know what kind of DNA my dog has. Yeah, yep. I shouldn't say they all aren't accurate, but I can tell you plenty are. And if you're only getting one, how do you know if it's accurate or not? I mean, you hated spending the 180. You're not going to spend another 80 and send it to another place. Yeah, it is. It's huge. And almost everybody I know that gets a genealogy thing, by the Mormons control that whole business. They've got like a 0.5% of African American. I don't care who it is. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know that much about it, but I don't know. It's just not like getting a drunk driving ticket. It's like, Mr. Reed, you were legally drunk. It's like, no, I wasn't. It's like, yes, you were. Here's your blood alcohol analysis. Yeah, nobody's doubting that one, are they? Not the judge, the jailer, the counselor, your insurance company. They believe that son of a bitch, lock, stock, and barrel. Which I'm fine for you, driving and drinking. Okay, they definitely control it. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Yeah, it's like, man, he just didn't have confidence. Brian, now that Saginaw trip back and forth, Brian, that was about 184 miles. About $40 of gas. Totally worth it. But see, there's another example of people think all that money is in YouTube. You know, those videos never, I mean, it's just cool to go on and interact with people, but what, to get 1,000 views, that's $3.25, and just the gas was $40. You see what I mean? Hey, Kevin. Oh yeah, you get to go with me. I'm kind of up in the air on that. What I'm gonna do. I want to do it, but I got a lot of shit I should do here. I got a couple of medical things I'm dealing with. The smart thing is to not go, but I never do the smart thing. I do the emotional one. If it feels good, do it. That's my religion. So I'd like to go out around. There's a lot of ghost towns. Not that I'm into that ghost stuff too much, but I like those abandoned buildings. And I don't want to go to a place where, I can't get out. At least if I go southwest Nevada through the desert, I can do a lot of photography, infrared photography, and get out and not worry about Daisy. So, I mean, as much as I love winter, it's just not that practical for, what I like to do. I'd like to interview some Native Americans. There's I looked up the place. It's Whitehall, I think the name of it is. It's on the southern border of Nebraska, northern border of Nebraska. Go on, jump. Southern border of South Dakota. They sold more cans of beer there than anywhere in the United States, and they ended up getting it banned. Like I said a couple nights in a row on chats, look up the poverty of India. I realized it was this bad. For some reason, the mainstream media doesn't seem all that interested in this, and I know why. Because it doesn't garner any attention. Nobody just seems to give a shit about the Indians. It's so weird. No parades, no special days, no memorials. They're still lying to kids in school over history and Thanksgiving. I sometimes wonder, like, how Mary can, like, come on here and just fit into a white society and just feel and not feel like such an outsider. I mean, you just got, God knows the examples she has, and just keeps her mouth shut because, first of all, nobody's listening, and secondly, what's she going to do about it? But, when you're white and you're middle class and you're part of this whole damn scam, you're not facing what they face, and you're never going to see it through their eyes. And I just don't know how they I don't know how they do that. Every time you turn on, it's white news and Kardashians and Donald Trump and Joe Biden. They're never going to see a Native American president or vice president. And I just can't help but think that gets to you along the way. You get charged with something. You got a white judge, a white jury, a white jailer. I mean, it can't be impartial, totally. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I definitely want to do it, but my health's not that bad. I think I got this hernia I don't think I'll need to do anything with, but I got some kind of gastrointestinal thing. Yeah. At least I don't have what Michael Douglas has. The doctor said I'd have been dead 25 years ago. So scratch that. Doctor says, are you sexually active? I said, are you counting jacking off? That's a good question. Now, I'm not trying to... The first one was a joke, but this one's not. I want you to answer this honestly. Do you think that's considered sex? That's a good damn question, I think. No, me too, Kevin. Me too. No, but if you really think about it, is it sex? It might not be. It ties in perfect to my religion. If it feels good, do it. Yeah, I mean, really, you ask people, nobody really knows. I was wondering if, well, it started out by the doctor said, are you sexually active? And I said, are you counting jacking off? But then later I said, come to think about it, is masturbation sex? It might not be. Does anybody know? I think if it feels good, do it. Yeah, but I just is that considered sex or not? Could somebody Google that? Oh, so it is considered a sexual activity. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's cool. You know, I can tell you this. I'll delve into my personal life. I can remember getting into some huge arguments with my wife. And you know what it was about? This is the weird shit. If you guys have been married or you've had relationships, you know the shit that can come up. I mean, you got the stuff they make TV shows and romance novels, and then you got the shit that happens to you that you never really have anybody to talk to about. Because how do you bring it up? I mean, what are you going to do? Bring it up at a cocktail party? A black tie affair? No, you just shut the fuck up about it. It's not bothering you enough to tell a psychiatrist about it. It's not affecting your life to where you're going to get counseling. So you just go on to your grave with not saying anything to anybody until now. And here's what I'm getting at. I can remember getting in some real heated arguments with my wife. Because she'd hear some of this bullshit on Oprah or read it in the internet or something. And the whole argument was consisting of, she said, I know you're jacking off. And she wanted to know what I was thinking about. And I wouldn't tell her. You know why I wouldn't tell her. I mean, that's a no-brainer. She knew why, too. Thus, the argument. It's one of those things, do you still beat your wife? If she said, hey, you son of a bitch, I know you're jacking off, and I want to know what you're thinking about. I think I only think about you, honey. She said, you're a goddamn liar. See what I mean? It's the argument that gets you nowhere. So, well, you want me to, I'll use the old Bible school of approach. It's like, well, if you want my honest opinion, it's your twin sister. Bobbles has a unique rule of thumb for logic and honesty. At her house, in her mind, in her social etiquette, she doesn't have any problem at all when Sling Blade hubby says to her, where's the goddamn motherfucking gravy? Now, most places, you would say, hey man, it's Thanksgiving, there's people around. Couldn't you just ask where the gravy is? Bobbles would say, absolutely not in this household. He's honest, and that was his opinion. It's like, yeah, but what about etiquette, civility, rules, I mean, mores, I mean, there's kids and women around. Yeah, Kevin. Exactly right. Yeah, and one thing that really, I mean, I here's the problem right out of the chute. I know what Maddie does. I know what she's done. I know what her issues are. I know the same thing with Becky. And I clued her in from the very beginning. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that I set those interviews up with her. Could I have set them up with myself? Sure, I could have. Would they have got a lot of views? Yes, they would have. But I didn't do it for a couple reasons. One, that ship has sailed. You guys know everything about those people. And other than getting views, there's no reason for me to talk to him again myself where I upload videos. So I tried to help her out. And I even tried to tell her at the beginning, look, I know what these women do for a living, but I don't want you embarrassing them. And in both occasions, with Maddie and with Becky, their boyfriends were in the room with them. As a matter of fact, Becky's boyfriend was reluctant to have her talk because he didn't want to be embarrassed. So I told her, don't be asking them about, sex shit. And what does she ask both of them? To get views and subscribers and what the hell after she asked them what was the wildest sex thing they ever did as prostitutes. Great. Perfect. Now here's the irony. Like everything, there's a build-up to things. So while Maddie was getting slaughtered and embarrassed and her ass handed to her, Maddie's so sweet, she doesn't even say anything negative about the people that don't like. I could realize that none of these fucking brain-dead moderators of hers were doing anything to protect Maddie or just to guarantee that she was treated civilly. So I said, hey, you got to quit talking about Maddie this way. I set this up. I'm starting to feel bad. Like I set her up for this shit. Maddie would have never went on there if I hadn't bridged the gap, right? So it's getting worse. So I finally said, hey, fat ass. And she claims that she didn't read comments, but she read that one, didn't she? And she got mad and upset. Now, if people have an opinion and they're being honest, how could you not feel for Maddie and Becky when you ask those low-down white trash questions? But yet, in the same token, she's referred to herself before as a big fat ass. So what are you getting mad about? You weren't protective of them. So why did you get offended when, number one, it was my opinion. Number two, I was being honest. And number three, you had said it yourself. That's my point. So that was the moment I decided we need to part ways down different paths. Yeah, super disgusting. But here it was okay for anybody to ask Maddie and Becky in front of their boyfriends. And she's self-described fat ass. Why are you getting upset? I mean, I thought I met the criteria of what your audience and what your moderators didn't do, and there shouldn't be any problem. So once she took the bait on that, I realized what I was dealing with, and it was time to part ways. 500 pizzas. Yeah, I was getting pissed, man. You get that, Joe? No, not cool at all. But in fairness, I gotta tell you this. I don't know how you can say though. Really, if I can understand you saying that 3 months ago, but I don't really understand how you can say that now, because I don't see how it can be no nonsense when it's constant banter with these white trash lowlifes when there's supposedly no drama. I mean, how many times do you say that before there's no drama? So true, Kevin. That was reverse racism. That is exactly right. Which I don't regret. I mean, look, like I tell people with everything, whether it's recommending a neighbor to a job, whatever. I mean, minus a crystal ball, at the time, when you're trying to help someone, you don't know what it's gonna bring down the road. You don't know. And I'm not a guy for like talking about hindsight, coulda, woulda, shoulda. What are you gonna do? And she said that she lied about seeing paperwork with regard to Sharon reporting Nitty to Department of Human Services to protect her family. What are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really, that doesn't really bother me too much because honestly, I mean, I tell you guys, man, it isn't like I did something unique or I got some great knowledge of photos or video. I go out and fuck around, like videoing things, did it. Couple videos took off. Not because anything I did, it was the subject matter. So believe me, no one is aware more than me that it's all shit luck, fucking bullshit. I didn't do anything different than anybody out there that has 50 subscribers. But everybody, looks at the pissing contest like it's views and subs and all this fucking happy horse shit that doesn't mean anything. I realize that it's just all like this made up Kardashian fucking bullshit. I mean, I'm not taking credit for something that I know deep down in my heart of hearts I had little to do with. If I was some great, like, Steven Spielberg, or I figured out how to attach a fucking micro camera on a fly's ass while it landed on hamburger buns at a picnic, now we're talking. But this simple shit I did, this would be like winning a scratch off and going around acting like you're some big financial genius because you were buying up everything you saw. It's kind of like that. It's not like legit. It isn't like taking a 100-pound cabbage, 155-pound carrot, carving a caribou up, grinding his goddamn horns down and making some glue, rubbing two sticks together and going to bed at night in Anchorage or Fairbanks, Alaska, like meat candy. Now we're talking. Here's some skills. Yeah. Yeah, it's all bullshit, man. It's not like, talent. Yeah, meat Caffey's crazy, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's really any evidence of that. I mean, I think some people I think probably Daisy's helped more than anything. Look at Daisy looking out the window just like me. I know, hon, you like going too. You good girl. No, I agree. No, they want to talk about Sharon lying and Angie reacting to Maddie, who she doesn't even know. Just people are just fucking crazy. They have nothing going on in their lives. Oh, come on, Jill. You've been drinking again. No, I mean, I didn't really know what they were going to do. I didn't know what they were going to do. I mean, it's impossible to start a channel. And, if you're like, they say that everybody wants their 10 seconds of fame. I do think this. I think it's just part of the human psyche that people want to be recognized in some fashion. And I think once that happens with most people or some people, that was enough of it for them. I mean, if I was 20 years old and the producer, Dr. Phil, would have contacted me, I'd have been all over it because I didn't know anything then. I didn't know it was a big troublemaking fest and my life would probably get worse after going on there. But I know that now, which is why I'm disinterested. You see what I mean? So you get smarter. But I guess if you haven't Uh, I think Sharon. I mean, you can argue whether you like her, whether you're not. Uh, she can get meals delivered now. She's not sleeping in a house with no lights, no running water. So in a way, Maddie and Gerald's, in a way, their lives have improved. Maybe not the way you wanted it to. You see what I mean? And they look for recognition. I mean, get serious here. I mean, where do you think Bobbles would get any kind of attention other than on a gossipy, chit-chatty, childish, bashing Susie mantra? Name me one other facet of life under those circumstances where anybody would give her the time of day. Temperature's 27. It's actually warming up. Yeah, but do you really think that would fly in a BDSM club? I mean, seriously. Just for the sake of argument. Hey, Sandy. You think so, huh? Yeah, it's kind of a high crime area, Kevin. Just local, Drifter. Took Daisy for a little couple walks. Yeah. You'd be bored, Rick. Yeah, we're gonna get warmer weather. Yep. Tomorrow I'm gonna record a snowstorm in Taos, I hope. Yeah, it's true, Joe. How do you know she's hanging in there and it isn't fake like it was over the summer? And she's been high for the last 2 weeks straight. I don't understand what you're talking about. Yeah, you should, Kevin. No, but people aren't high while they're in detox. That's the point. So how is that related in any way through any kind of normal detox? Yeah, but I mean, the truth of the matter is none of us know. And I don't know of anybody that's high on any mind altering substance when they're going through detox. That's the point here. You give me one example of some place where you're going through detox and you can be high on anything. I know detox programs where you're not even allowed to drink a Red Bull. So come on. Oh, they are. I was watching a spiel on Oxycontin in the doctor's office today. I mean, are you saying she's detoxing at home? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't buy this at all. No, I'm not saying that it isn't difficult and hard and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, if you're saying that she's going through detox now, I don't think you understand it. Yeah, I don't think you can detox like that from opiates, though, can you? Well, I know that got her out of her jail, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about if she's detoxing, and I say she's not, and it's all bullshit. Yeah, well, she wasn't gone long enough to detox. Right. Look, I hope she does, get this under control, but I think it's a big scam. Hey. Sharon. I mean, I've already caught her scamming a couple of times. I mean, she's not even smart enough to not come on camera high. Yeah, well, at least there's some respect from that. That's what Becky will tell you. Yeah, Maddie will tell you the same thing. Well, detox isn't a trick. It's a regimented program, and she's not doing it. If you think she's just doing marijuana, you're naive. No, I mean, but really, I mean, I get it, right? She's fine with that life. Yeah, I believe it, Joe. But I mean, even at the worst scenario, if you were a drinker and you just spent your money on drinking and that was it, so what? I mean, there's better ways to live. I get it, but you're not bilking like 5 old lonely guys out of $100 a night, all thinking they're the person that's funding your hotel room or your Mexican dinner or whatever the hell else it is you got. That's the issue here. I mean, if she said, "Hey, look, I got this guy. He's paying my whole bill every month. That's the way it's going to be." Okay, fine. What's the complaint? I mean, there's nothing to bitch about. It's the con job that I have a problem with. And I don't even have a problem with that as long as people are aware of it. And if you keep supporting it, well, that's your decision. But you can't say you weren't warned. Yeah, that's good, Kevin. Yeah, but I mean, to be real about it, her life's been one big failure. She's almost 50 years old. Probably meat candy, yeah. Yeah, I do too, but that's not the issue here. The issue here is conning and manipulating people, telling them one thing and doing another. It's not all what I'm talking about. No, and that's exactly what she's doing. I think they do. I think they do. And let me tell you, marijuana is not a part of any detox program anywhere. People detoxing are in detox centers. They're not in the home of their dope dealer doing lives. Does that ring any bell at all with you? Well, good. We're getting somewhere then. Yeah, it's insulting. That's exactly it, me candy. It's insulting. And I wouldn't even have a problem with that. But she's got some of these old guys conned into thinking that something's going to be happening down the road and that she's in the process of getting better, and she's not. That's my only issue. Speak the truth, yeah. You get over there, hon? You get over there, honey? Good girl. Jump. You know, these short days are going to be coming to an end pretty soon. Days are getting longer. This has been a great winter. I mean, not the best, but man, compared to what we were used to, this is normal. Snow on the ground, cold. My pants are looser. No, I don't have mine because I think I'm going to head down south or southwest. No, I don't. It's a constant yearly dilemma. 20 years ago, you put them on the beginning of November and took them off the end of March. But, you know, with this weather difference. And I should get a whole new set. I got a set, but it's about the end of the road and it just doesn't make sense. Put my snow tires on, then I'm stuck here till spring. Go ahead, jump, hon. Jump. Or I can go north, but there's not a whole lot of reason to go north past January 15th. If you look on a map from, well, there's no freighters in Sault Ste. Marie, and then you got to go all the way to Marquette to get anything that you can sit in your car and video. Believe me, in January and February, I'm not going to be out on Whitefish Point with a tripod in 3 degrees. My balls frozen to the leg of my tripod. I mean, I like getting video, but I got my limits. Yeah, all-wheel drive, that's the only thing that gets me by. Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I thought about going to Lexington. I was there last year. I like Louisville too. Louisville's better for homeless people. I still can't believe the amount of people chopping down trees for Christmas. You think that'd be like over by now? Hey, Debbie. Yeah, Kay Barker was parked up just southeast of the bridge yesterday. Yeah, the Kay Barker. Yep. I don't know why it was sitting there. It was just north of Presque Isle. I don't know what's there. It almost seemed to me like they were waiting for the wind to calm down or something. It didn't make any sense. But the app that I have, that's not always the most updated app either, so I don't know what to believe, but it was up there. Yeah, it's a cool boat. It looks the best out of all of them at nighttime. Looks like a damn cruise ship. All these cool lights on it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it, Drifter? It's a hell of an economy, though, man. A mini market, Christmas. Whoever got that whole ball rolling, man, you got to give them A+. They got people shopping their ass off. I wanted to check. There was a lady down here that had an art gallery and a haircutting studio, and it was pretty popular, believe it or not. And then I saw a real estate. I was trying to get some video of a train the other night, and I saw a real estate sign. And I went back there, and it looked vacant, which I'm kind of surprised about. Maybe COVID finished her off. Here's some car tracks back here, so maybe they were just gone. Yeah, I don't put up any Christmas decorations. Maybe Miss January on the bathroom door and Miss June in the ceiling. Yeah, Poldergirthy. Yeah, there's about 13 of those big giant ones. You know, there's 70% less traffic on the Great Lakes than there was in the mid-70s. You know, they're mothballing, fossil fuel burning, coal burning plants. Yeah, this place right here. Although somebody plowed it. Yeah, I think it's tits up for this place. I don't know why you'd be plowing. There is a light on that back part, though. I bet she took a job somewhere. No, I didn't interview her. No, she's a super left-wing liberal. Yeah, it's for sale. Yeah, it's listed for sale. I bet COVID finished her off with hairdos and art. $438. $438, Kevin. Running like a top. Hey, Thomas. Wish I could catch a train with my GoPros. I'd like to see that. You know, certain times you can see sparks on the train's wheels. And with this white snow on the bottom, I think it'd be a kick-ass GoPro video, but it's hard to catch these trains. You know what's really weird? You can hear them coming from 25 miles away. And sometimes I hear them, I just take off to come down to the tracks. But you can never tell which way they're going. I'll hear it blow and I'll come down. Thing never shows up. That meant it was passing town when I heard it. And that's happened like the last 3 times. But a train should be coming through pretty soon. Yeah, meat candy. Yeah, you never know. I mean, you know, I get on them spur of the moment. I never schedule. Glad to have you. Yeah, I like freighters and trains too. But you can wait out here forever for a train, never see it. You know, another thought I just had, I did eat a lot of steaks this year on the grill. I didn't feel for shit this summer. I bet I do have a gallbladder going south. I bet you I do. Gallbladder. This would be it. The trains do come through this time, man. If I could catch a train right now, it'd be so great. With this, like, nah, I mean, I don't feel the worst. I mean, I still get bullshit done, but not like I would if I felt better. Anything that's like meaningful or you gotta buckle down, I don't do it. I haven't rearranged my porn collection over a year. Gas price, you can get it for $3.26 a gallon here. Stick around a while and listen, and then you'll know what's going on. We're not going to explain it to you. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it was depression, but I begin to doubt that. There's a snowstorm way out to the west. See that big gap? This kick-ass snowstorm out to the west. Yeah, it is cool. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and try and catch this rest of this. I don't have much daylight left. There's a good place where I could get a perfect train video, which I really want if a train comes by. And I'll be heading west, northwest actually. Yeah, they're far and few between up here. You want to get good train videos, I'm telling you, man. Wauseon, Ohio. There's a lot of factors that go into getting good videos on anything. Airport too. Are the cops going to hassle you? Is somebody going to try and nail you with trespassing? Is some do-gooder going to cause you problems? Do you got to stand around and be noticed before you get the film? And when that's present, it's not as fun. So there's certain places, like where I'm going now, where there's nobody around. I don't need to worry about anything. Nobody's going to call the cops when I start recording. Hell yeah, they do that. Yes, they do. Nowadays, man, I'm telling you, and I mean, especially being an older guy now, 30 years ago, if I wasn't an older guy then, nobody thought anything. Oh, there's a camera buff. It's not like that anymore. Yeah, especially around airports. I've even had it bite me in the ass. I've been at airports before. I've got this one lens that's like 27 inches long. So if you're around some Karen and she sees you get out of a car with this lens, she's going to want to do her troublemaking civic duty and say, hey, I just saw this guy get out of a van. It looks like he has a bazooka or something. It's real long, it's black, and he's up on top of the parking deck. So all of a sudden, the cops come screaming up there. And they don't really want you there. You don't have to leave, but if you don't, they're going to make it rough for you. That kind of shit. So knowing that, sometimes I've called when I've been up on a rooftop and I've seen other guys taking photos. And I said, hey, look, I just thought I'd give you a courtesy call. My name's Tom Reed. Here's my phone number. I have this big long lens. It's like, well, Mr. Reed, we hope you're not offended, but we'd really wish you wouldn't do that. It's like, why? It's like, well, in today's environment, passengers get nervous. I said, yeah, but there's nothing illegal about it. Yeah, there isn't, but we'd rather you didn't, because it's just, we're going to be getting calls on it. We've got enough things to do. So all of a sudden, I'm leaving. I'm the only guy that called to let them know they could call me, so they knew there wasn't a problem. And everybody else that didn't call them, that's up there snapping away, is going to be there till they feel like leaving. But that's the current environment now. And I try and stay on the good side if I can, you know. It's down near airport, 100, 200 acres. They're like 9 million, 11 million. And I looked on their real estate site, and I thought that the videos were not that, or the photos were not that great. So I called them and said, hey, I'm going to be straight with you. I do a lot of photography. I like sitting right on the corner of your field, and I was wondering if I could redo your photos for you, and you give me permission to sit there and photograph airplanes. It's like, yeah, no problem. Be glad to. So I did that, so I could go there, and still, I try and take the high road. So it's not like if the cops showed up, they're going to say, yeah, hi, can I ask you what you're doing? It's like, yeah, it's none of your fucking business. It's like it's private property. The owner didn't call you because I have permission to be here, and I want you to get lost. I'm about ready to start taking photos of airplanes. I would never do some shit like that. I mean, I know they got a job. They're trying to do the right thing, making sure you're not some crazy. I would say, hey, I've worked this out with the owner, and here's his number, and give him a call. I'm taking photos. This is not a rocket launcher. You know, here's my ID. That's just the way it is nowadays, man. And the calls are generally from Karens, or like these stalking troublemakers on YouTube. It's not anybody with a valid, legitimate concern from safety. It's someone trying to cause as much problems and trouble as they can with a phone call. Oh, thank you, lovely. Yeah, good cameras take good photos. Believe me. I could give my cameras to any of you guys, and yours would look exactly the same. All I do is push the button. I haven't shot a manual photo on a camera in 20 years. I mean, you turn it on. My biggest claim to fame is remembering to put the SD card back in it and to make sure the battery's charged. I've had that happen before. I'll be out in the middle of nowhere, take out my big expensive ass kicker camera, go to take a picture, and it's like, why isn't this fucking thing turning on? I realize there's no battery. That, or I go to take the first photo and it said big question mark SD card. Yeah, I know what that means because it's not the first time that I've done it. It means that when I had the SD card out and I downloaded the photos the last time, I forgot to put it back in the camera. I've had that happen. I've got enough stuff now and enough cameras, though, that I keep a big war chest of extra everything. Mounts, lens wipes, tripod things. Here's this poor sucker. If they run out of gas, I'm the guy. You know why? Because I got a gas can because I ran out. Oh, he might just be nothing to be wrong with this guy then, I think. I think he might have just been checking his map or something. He turned off his lights. Yeah, that's cool. No, I usually give away my cameras or give some budding photographer a good deal. By the time I get rid of a camera, believe me, it's about end of the road. Not necessarily use-wise. Like the last camera I sold was a Nikon D300. And I thought, man, I used the shit out of that thing. I bought it brand new, and I thought, this thing's got to be coming down to the end of the road shutter-wise. I mean, they don't last forever. So you can take a shot now and upload it to this thing, and it tells you how many actuations, how many photos you've taken. And I didn't have any idea, but I thought this thing's got to be pretty well used. 29,000, which is nothing. They say you can go 100,000 without doing any maintenance, repair. So shit, that thing was only about, I couldn't believe it. So here's the point. The way cameras are now, if you're not a professional photographer, I'm certainly not, and I took photos up the ass. That camera was only a third used. So if you like photography, get a good camera, buy a brand new one. Because here's the problem: these cameras now are driven by computers pretty much. And even if they're not, even if you need a part, all these companies, it's like they got together and price fixed. Whether it's Canon, Sony, Nikon, I don't care what's wrong with the camera. You're going to get an estimate to fix it. Not that much off what a brand new one would cost you. So, with that said, there's a lot of used cameras out there that have things wrong with them. And if you get one, even if you get a super deal on it, it's basically a bookend because they are so expensive to buy. I mean, the camera's not that bad anyway, it's the lenses. So, I mean, even Nikon, everybody thinks like I got a lot of money because I have Nikons. Let me tell you, Nikon's a decent camera, but that's not even scratching the surface of what I would call expensive. It's really not. I mean, they're good enough for me. But camera, you can just blow unlimited money on cameras like crazy, and it doesn't really change. But if you like photography, you think you'll do it for a long time, get a good camera, take care of it. Even if you got to pay it in installments, get some good lenses, good Nikon lenses. I'm a Nikon guy. They hold their value pretty good. And go out there and have fun, because you're not going to be as enthused when you go to places. Got some half-ass, blue light special camera. It's just not as fun, It's a better feeling when I know that when this damn woodchuck is about ready to throw the wood to his girlfriend, that I'm going to get the best shot possible for a reasonable dollar amount. You know what I mean? I buy all my cameras. Here I am telling you not to buy a used camera, and I bought a used one. And the reason I do that is because, I've been doing this for a while, and I think I have a pretty good idea to ask the right questions. I check the actuations. I look and see what else they've sold. I make sure they're not a dealer. So far, I've been pretty lucky at getting cameras from people that paid up the ass, didn't use it like they thought they would. And what they'll do is they'll list this crazy high price because they just can't stand the thought of losing this much money on something they paid that much for and they're selling. So I'll say, hey, look, I'm really into cameras. Your asking price is crazy, which is why you still have it now. I will offer you more than I guarantee that you could have sold it for. And do your own research, go out and look. But I'm willing to give you 25% more for that camera than anybody else. And it gets them to sell it to me, and it's true. It works out for them, and it works out for me. So it's not like I'm just, throwing away careless bids on eBay. And I could get that broken off of my ass any day. The upside of it is I got really good, nice cameras. They were almost brand new when I got them. Yeah, get a good Nikon. I tell you, I think you can get a Nikon D800 or a D850. I'd get the D850. You look at, with this COVID bullshit, Nikon really got hurt financially with these 1-inch cameras through Sony and stuff. These videographers were using. The video's better, but the stills are not. If you're buying a camera for photos, don't get one of those combo units. It's not as good. It's like anything. It's the lawnmower that waters your grass. It's cutting your grass half-ass, and it's watering your grass half-ass. If you want to water your grass, water it with a hose. And if you want to do a nice job cutting the grass, get something that just mows grass. Any combo anything is iffy. And film cameras, stay away from them. You can't give them away. That ship has sailed. You want to have fun with the camera, get a GoPro, man. I'm telling you, you can't do everything, but you can do 90% of it, and really well. And you can do time-lapse, great stills, carry it in your pocket all the time, put it in your aquarium, underwater. I mean, for the money, you cannot beat it. Nah, not really. I don't really have any cell because I got everything set up for. I converted a D800 to infrared, and then I got a D850. And no, I sold all my I had two 300s I sold, and of course my lenses are full frame. Those were not. So to answer your question, I don't have anything for sale. But you know, I'm telling you, if you shop around and you're really serious and you like photos, get a good used Nikon. And a good lens. You can get an all-round lens. I mean, I've got every lens they make for it practically, and honest to God, 90% of the time I'm only using one of them. Now, I actually pulled the big one out the other day to get some of those Mackinac Islands bridge shots. But, you know, I really bought that for airplanes, taxiing and stuff, but I haven't been down there in a long time. Oh, that's okay, Joe. Yeah, GoPro 9, the 10 they're having problems with. I'd get the 9. It's not that much different anyway. I mean, my opinion, like I said the other day, it's like electric cars. You can only push technology so far. They've done that with electric cars. You know, if you're living in California and you're selling your tofu cakes and you drive to work 2 miles, you're going to love your Tesla. If you're in Detroit and it's 20 degrees and you want the heat on too, you're going to hate your Tesla. They've tapped them out. But in order to appease stockholders, every year you have to claim something that they did better than the year before. Well, Tesla, just like GoPro, there's really not much improvement. They'll tell you there is, but there's not. Like the GoPro 10 came out, now they're claiming it has overheating issues. Yeah, no shit. That's because you're trying to pack too much of a processor in a small camera. You already had that problem with prior models, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to act like it's a big surprise. I guarantee you, when they were testing that thing, it was overheating left and right. But to appease stockholders and investors, you have to come out with a new model, or you're not going to do shit. And that's what happens with things. You know? So I wouldn't get the GoPro 10. I was going to get one, then I waited a while. I'll tell you another one that's coming up too is this new Windows 11. You wouldn't believe the system requirements you need to run that. I've got an i7 processor, and it says that I don't have enough RAM to run Windows 11. You do the system requirements on Windows 11, now you're going to be able to get away with 10 for probably another 10 years. It's not like they're going to quit supporting it anytime soon, so don't hit the panic button. But if you like to keep up to date and get the newest this and that, you're going to need to upgrade your computer. You're not just going and adding some more RAM and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, you've probably got an old one. I mean, everybody's hung up on this 4K and this bullshit, which is cool and all that. But I'm telling you that it's sensor size. Let me give you a perfect example. I don't even have a full 1-inch sensor in my Canon, but it's a hell of a lot bigger sensor than in the GoPro, obviously, right? GoPro fits in your hand. Canon is a full-size camera that you hold in your hand. Big difference. Now let's take for an example, I shoot 4K video, and you look up 4K and you think 4K is clear and that's what you want. When I take a 4K video from my GoPro and I upload it to YouTube, let's say it's a half hour and it takes 2 hours and 10 minutes. When I go to the same 4K file format with the full-fledged, full-size, dedicated Canon video camera, it takes twice as long. You say, well, why would that be? They're both 4K. Sensor size. The size of the pixels on a bigger sensor is way bigger. If I showed you an 8x10 screen and I showed you 4K from the GoPro on one and 4K from the Canon on the other, you would notice the difference. But see, you never get a chance to compare apples to apples. All as you know is when my video pops up on your YouTube screen that you're watching and it looks half-ass good enough. See, you can't compare it to anything. But I'm telling you, 4K isn't 4K based on anything other than a bigger, better sensor. Yeah, people don't get that. You'll see, people will say, you go on B&H or somebody will be doing a 4K video, 60p, $399. Yeah, like everything. There's no free lunch. If you're not spending $2,000 on a dedicated video camera, something's off. Something's off. It is. I mean, depending on what you're doing with it. That's why I say for the average Joe, which I consider myself, you can't beat the GoPro 9. The problem is distance. You got to be right up in the face of everything. If you don't have that thing clipped to the side of a bird laying eggs, everything looks like it's a light year away. That's why when I do those like videos around that Irons Park, those ice and all that crap, I got that on a 30-foot pole and I'm hovering that camera 3 inches above the ice on an extended pole. Without that, it wouldn't be worth a shit. You'd need binoculars to see what I was doing. So you see what I mean? You can't have it always. If you go look at that video, hour and 42 minutes that I did of Mackinac and that rough water under the bridge. I said this is a camera's in the same place the whole time. What I did is I went down there with a dedicated camera, the Canon with the big sensor, set it up on a 22-pound tripod that's hard to push over, not impossible. And I bolted that camera to the top. I froze my balls off. I zoomed it in so you couldn't see the shore, so it looked like I was closer than I was. It's also why you get that good depth of field. You can see that water splashing on those columns way, way, way down. See, you're not going to get that depth of field with the GoPro. So I set it up, opened it up, zoomed it in, put my jumbo maximum battery on there, pushed the on button, went in my van, read Playboy, Hustler, and Penthouse for an hour and 42 minutes. Went back, turned it off, unbolted it off the high tripod, came home and uploaded it. It's one file. It doesn't break them up. Took 24 hours to upload that. 24 hours. But it's a much better video than I ever could have got with the GoPro. Now, when I'm down getting the ice and people are thinking that looks cool and I could touch the water, yeah, it's on a 30-foot pole with a $350 camera. Could I do that with the expensive camera? I could not. So it all depends on your application. Some of the people have got GoPros because they know I like them, and I know when they get them, they almost seem disappointed. And I know why, because they went to the zoo and the goddamn jumbo elephant looked like a pin dot in the screen because there's no zoom on them. Unless you got that damn thing stuck up right next to the elephant's eyeball, it's not that great. It's not good if you're not ready. I've even taken that thing, that camera, put it on my 30-foot pole, been right next to an Amtrak train hauling ass, like maybe 5 feet away from it, going right by me, and it still looks like it's too far away. So you see what I mean? It's all depending on what you want to do. Yeah, Faulkner. Yeah, but it gives you, it shows you though the difference in what's your application, what are you trying to do with it. For the average person, GoPro, can't beat it, $350. About 500 when you get all the bells and whistles and the extra shit you're gonna need. I mean, if I go out like on a long day and I'm trying to do those ice videos and stuff, you only get about 20 minutes on a super cold day out of a battery. So when people say, I'm thinking of getting a GoPro, it's like, what do you suggest? Like, well, what are you going to do? It's like, well, I'd like to do the ice videos like you do. It's like, okay, well, get the extra charger and order 7 more batteries. It's like, why? It's like, because you're going to need them all. That's 140 minutes on a super cold day. And when you've driven 200 miles one way like I do, the last thing you want to do is get cheap on batteries. All of a sudden you've driven your ass off. You wanted to get some more video and you can't because you don't have any more batteries. So I go through all 8 of them sometimes. Not much, but I can tell you that I go through 4 all the time. 6 quite a bit, and occasionally all 8. Oh, thank you, Nev. Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, good cameras take good video or good photos. There's no mystique to it. It's just like a YouTube channel. You get lucky, you buy good cameras, you get good pictures. Oh shit. Well, hang on a second. I kind of forget how these rare, and I don't want to hear look at the moon. I don't want to hear the train coming and be fumbling over a piece of barbed wire I didn't know was there. Look at the moon. You do, Kevin. Hang on one sec. You move over here for a second, Dad, be right back. He's gonna check the train, hon. So when the train comes, Dad can get the video, honey. Without was drumming on my face with his finger. Well, I'm glad I checked because it's farther away than I thought, and there's too much snow. Doesn't that moon look cool? with a star above it. Wango Tango. See, this is like, to a guy like me, this is like my perfect photography night. That's a nice Veterans Memorial. I ate earlier. I had pad thai. I want to go down this road too and see if there's, I think there's a place down here, I'm not sure. This is Bud Light territory, NASCAR, New Holland tractors, mud wrestling, four-wheelers, huge tramp stamps. Spam. I'm profiling again. Nah, I'm just on next next town up actually. I want to get some train video if possible. Problem is back here it's so goddamn dark. I might have been better off just staying. You know, I may end up going back to West Branch. I was thinking this was a better idea, but I don't know about that now. I just don't have enough ambient light. If you're not on time-lapse night mode, you can't see for shit. And at least when I'm in West Branch, if I'm around like the train depot, there's a lot of ambient light because it's in town. And you can see like a lot more cool shit. This way, you're only going to see you're going to see a light, hear the horn. The train's going to go over it for about 20 seconds. But it isn't as good as seeing the train from like 20 yards away hauling ass. You know what I'm saying? This happens all the time to me. I get a place, you have this idea of what you think it's going to be like and you get there and it's not how you remember it, or it's too much bullshit, and that's what this is. This would be good in the summer, but it's not good in the winter. And now I know that now, but it's not that. I got to see the sunset, so this is how it constantly is with photography. Whether it's wind or waves or sun or fog. I mean, I like bad weather, so I mean, I kind of seek that out. Like Detroit, when I was doing a lot of photos down there, you do not want to be going east on Michigan Avenue in the morning. The sun washes everything out. The same thing going west in the evening. So if there's something you want to get, and you want it at least in the ballpark, I'm telling you, it matters the way it's positioned. Because if it doesn't, you know how it is. Like even when you do video with your cell phone, if you're facing into the light, it washes everything out. Looks like shit. I mean, it's better than nothing. But it's nothing like having the sun at your back. It's the same thing with, like when I went out west last summer and fall. You know, I'm heading west. The sun's setting in the west. And it's like, you know, starting around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not going to get many good things just driving down the road by hanging the camera out the side of the window. Because you're heading into the sun. Everything's washed out. Now, as I came home, it was great. The sun was to my back. Everything was illuminated. So, you know, these are all things that matter when you're trying to, like, get something. You know what I mean? Yeah, those locomotives last night, I don't know whether those were purchased engines. That was some railroad I never heard of. Orange engines. I saw them someplace else not too long ago. I don't remember the initials on there, but I don't know what the deal is on those. I'm gonna go in here and get a lottery ticket. The lady at the place where I get my lottery ticket, she can't figure out how to print the extras, and it's just getting to be a pain in the ass. And I'm finding myself buying the lottery tickets from her, even though she printed the wrong ones. And it's just getting to where it's not worth it. I'll be right back. Good girl. Hey, Tassie. I'll give you a call when I'm done with this. Hey, I'll tell you, I just happened to notice on the front page of the paper in there lawsuits at that Oxford school where those shooting occurred. I guarantee you they're shitting bricks right now because the prosecutor has already criticized the school. She's saying that they had all the information they needed to contact the police and to kick this kid out of school, and they didn't do it. Now, in a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, that's exactly what you're looking for. That's the gold nugget. You had knowledge and foreseeability that there was a potential that this kid was not in a problem, and you didn't do what you should have. So I guarantee you right now the underwriters and the insurance company that insures this school district is shitting fucking bricks because you had a lot of young, valuable lives with tons of earning power and huge potential culpability in a civil lawsuit. This is as bad as it gets for a place, especially when you've got a prosecutor who's charged everybody involved with a criminal case. This is not good for that school system. Now, whether or not they made a mistake, well, we're going to find out. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 years. But I guarantee you there's a handful of people out there that can't sleep at night. And it's going to be one ass covering another. Oh, yeah, but not just civil suits. They were coming anyway. It's what you have to pay off. The problem is negligence, culpability. Did they not do things that they should have done? Did they fail to meet the minimum standard of due diligence in that situation in this day and age? I would say, who knows? We'll figure it out. It'll all get sorted out in the lawsuit. But when you got the chief law enforcement officer of the county saying that you fucked up and that this should have never happened, and if you'd have done what you should have done, these kids may still be alive, you got a huge public relations problem and getting a fair trial. This could all come down to getting out the checkbook, because this is going to be expensive either way. No, I'm talking about the shooting in Oxford, Michigan about a week and a half ago. No country for old men. Yeah, but prosecutors, that's an elected position. I mean, they nail these prosecutors all over across the country with bullshit, withholding evidence, fucking lying. I mean, I'm not saying she's not tough and not doing a good job, and it is not right. I don't know. You know, until you see all the evidence, I'll tell you this, I said it before, you know, the public sentiment in this whole thing is that the parents are a bunch of scumbags. They let this kid get away with murder. Well, this prosecutor charged the parents too. Now, I don't know everything she has, but I'll tell you one thing right now, that's a huge burden. That's a huge, giant leap to get these parents convicted. They could be shitbags and bad parents, but when you're trying to link them in your criminal charges with a crazy kid, good luck. I say the parents don't ever spend a day in prison. I can tell you this, though, the judge bought into it because he gave them each a $500,000 cash bond, which, here's another thing, he's an elected official too. That's why, you know, when you talk about fair trial, even if you're the biggest murdering scumbag in the world, one of the reasons that the people want to live in the United States is because it's the best criminal justice system there is. I know that sounds hard to believe in a lot of instances, but overall, the burden is very high to convict someone and send them away. Yeah, there are people that get convicted that shouldn't, but by and large, if you compare it to any other place in any other country, it's better than theirs. Turn, you fucking moron. But I bet you these parents, that is a huge stretch. Now, I think they may get nailed. And here's another thing, too. And I think it's terrible. I hope they get the max, whatever they deserve. But this kid's a juvenile. And they say they're going to try him an adult. Even when you do that, it's not like being an adult when you commit the crime. And that's going to be a huge mountain to scale as well. Everybody'd like to charge a kid with an adult crime when they do something this heinous. But that's why they're experts in court systems and all sorts of other bullshit. Because it takes away out of a knee-jerk... Somebody's burning something around here. Knee-jerk reaction. So remember that. The parents are never going to spend a day in prison. The prosecutor's going to get reelected, even though they think she's a big mouth and grandstanding, and unfair and biased and every other goddamn thing you can think of. That's the kind of person they want. Like Texas. If you're black, you do not want to get in trouble in Texas. Particularly for a capital crime. I mean, these wackos still think conception is when life begins. I mean, that may sound good in Sunday school, but when you look at it from a scientific perspective, no, it just doesn't cut mustard. I'm not talking a moral issue here. I'm talking about a biological one. And if you look at potential life in general, I mean, potential life, right? Does that necessarily mean fertilized eggs? I'm telling you, fair is a moving target. "10 inches of snow. Wow. I can come out there and measure it for you." Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those laws of a gun, and I don't know if they apply to 15-year-olds or not. I know they do with kids and trigger guards and all that horse shit. I also know that a 15-year-old can't possess a pistol. There are exceptions in the gun rules, like hunting guns, that kind of shit. Target shooting, that kind of stuff. So you're right about that. Yeah, that's a slam dunk. But the other stuff, good luck. Yeah, I mean, but I just got a problem with people that get elected when they know, based on in Michigan, the prosecutor is the chief law enforcement officer in that county. They're ahead of everybody. That's for state crimes in that jurisdiction. People, you don't look at them as law enforcement, but they are. That's why when you get in trouble and you go in to represent yourself, you better know what the hell you're doing, because they will hand your ass to you. They may give you a boilerplate deal, which is the same one your low-level flat rate fee court-appointed attorney will do, which will keep you from getting an extra $300 tagged on your court costs. But they're out for them. They're not out for you. But you don't really know that. You just think they're kind of in the middle, and you're going to them to try to appeal to a different charge or to save them the trouble of proving your guilt. And like I've said a million times, when they have you by the balls, they're not cutting you any deal. They don't need to. When they got a cop with a checkered past, or He got caught beating his wife the night after he arrested you. Now we're talking. But if they got you by the nuts on video or blood alcohol, you're fucked. If it's informants involved, snitches, disgruntled neighbors, ex-wives, you got a shot at getting out of it. But when they got you by the nuts on tape, man, you want to just try and get the best deal possible, because you can get the smartest lawyer in the world. Everybody thinks if you got money does help, and it helps because you can wear them out. You can make their lives miserable. You can keep them in court forever. You can appeal, challenge everything, file motions for everything under the sun. They don't have time for you. But just because you got a lot of money doesn't mean you're gonna get acquitted. Ask Bill Cosby. He did get acquitted, and as much as you might not like it, he got acquitted for the right reasons. Blame law enforcement. Don't blame him. The prosecutor offered him a deal, and it was in a transcript. And if it wasn't for that, Bill Cosby would still be in prison. So don't blame Bill for trying to get out early. Well, civil suits are the ones that really get you. I mean, this criminal stuff. Now, here's the thing, though. If this prosecutor there, that's a middle to upper middle income area in general. This isn't Wayne County, like where Detroit's at. I mean, this lady knows what sells, and there's a chance that, they charged people criminally, including the state's governor, with Flint water crisis. If you find, where there's damages and intent, and she gets a chance to charge some school officials. She had already said she thinks they're a bunch of douchebags. So, she can charge whoever she wants, and you can't do shit about it. It's called prosecutorial discretion. They can charge you and not charge me, or vice versa, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Unless you're super politically connected, and then you can appeal to the governor, who can tell her attorney general, hey, look, I've known these people a long time. They're huge contributors to my campaign. Because essentially, county prosecutors are 1099 mini attorney generals. They're enforcing the law of the state and the different counties. But if it's something important enough, they can get the state to go after you, even though the local county prosecutor didn't want to. Yeah, no, it sucks, man. It's crazy. And that used to be kind of a dumpy area. 40 years ago, if you lived in Oxford, that was nothing to brag about. Now it's kind of like inching towards neighborhoods of upper middle class. It's sprawl. Nobody wants to live in Detroit. People have jobs around there. The school systems are pretty good. Oakland County in general, I think that's the second biggest county in the state. I think it is. But it's a nice place to live. You will get reelected every time when you are for the death penalty. You're hard on drugs. People running for office know what people that vote for them want, and that's how you get elected. Ask Joe Biden. Yeah, the world's crazy. And that place shows you, it's like, But here's the interesting thing. They've been having shootings at Detroit schools forever. Did you ever get this kind of national headlines? No, you didn't. But now these white kids are getting tagged, and it's a big deal. It's on every TV show all week long. This is my point. It's the same argument I use with Native Americans. Same with these, I guess this Dr. Phil show, Blue Malibu sent me a link, did a show on these indigenous, or these Native American girls getting like kidnapped for porn and stuff like that, and nobody doing anything about it. I mean, that's nuts. Yeah, it's like crazy, man. Yeah, homeschooling though, man, that takes a certain type parent. And thank God my parents didn't homeschool me. Holy shit. I'd probably be swinging on a bunch of vines at the zoo somewhere. That would have been not good. But I said, Dad, they're shooting people at school. He said, don't be a pussy. Would you like a bulletproof jacket for Christmas? But, I mean, the truth of it is, and this is unfortunate, I guess, depends how you look at it, there's a silver lining, is there's going to be some laws with some teeth on it now over this gun bullshit, these crazy kids. There'll be some new law brought out there with safeguards and protocols, all because it was a white kid shooting white kids in a white neighborhood, and that gets huge media headlines. This was a shooting in Detroit. You just saw a little blurb, they'd have talked about it and it'd have been over. No shit. The only little thing that isn't making this like super huge like publicity is that they seem to be white trash that kind of finagled theirself into middle class. If they'd have been a little more respectable and the dad would have been a deacon in the church and the kid would have been an Eagle Scout, you'd really have something. But the kid's kind of been a kook from day one, and the dad's got a checkered past, and if the texts are accurate, the mom's a kook. So, you got kooky people doing kooky things, and that isn't quite as sensational as these phonies in the middle class that are deacons in the church, and helping Down syndrome 100-yard dash finishers at the end of the race, giving them a big hug. That garners way more media attention. When you get a chance to make somebody look different than how they presented themselves, that's where you really stretch that advertising buck. Oh man, when we were kids, we didn't know what a life preserver was. We skied without them, we're in boats, everybody had a pocket full of M80s, guns, no safety classes. God damn, it's amazing we ever made it. Nobody ever got hurt, none of us drowned. Just nutty shit. Now you go someplace on vacation, you see adults and they got this big like brain damaged kid type helmet on, elbow pads, pink shirt for breast cancer. I mean, I think in another 10 years you're going to see training wheels on the bikes of adults. Dogs getting braces. It's nuts, man. Man, if my dog had anything, if he needed anything more than heartworm when I was a kid, it was time for a new dog. It's like, Dad, I love little Johnny. He said, well, you're going to be loving a different little Johnny about a week from now. Now, get lost while I go out and put one between his eyes. We can't afford this. Yeah, puppy orthodontics, it's coming. Now, believe it or not, this is actually a perfect place to get a train video. Our cats ran around the neighborhood. Oh, just any crazy thing you could think of. It was in my family. I know this attorney. He's actually a Canadian with dual citizenship. Good guy. Yeah, narcissism. Yep. See, now I got enough light here I can get away with this. Get my GoPro set up. Yeah, I like Canadians. I do. I used to have fantasies of marrying a Canadian girl when I go over to Windsor. I used to dream of just marrying one. Living in Windsor. Yeah. Farthest I ever got was a bra down around her waist, across from the Bellevue, watching a freighter go by at 3 in the morning in July. She was older than me. She's probably in a convalescent center now. Take care, Sandy. I don't know why they're running that generator over there. My guess would be, well, I don't know why, really. Broken water main would be my guess. Wish they'd turn it off. I don't like that background noise on my videos. You see what I mean about the ambient light here? It's way better. I'm gonna put this phone there to get my GoPros. I hit this button on the bottom when I do it. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Kevin. But Kevin, I mean, for what it's worth, there are still going to be people that are going to have good lives. The odds are for you. It's just like going down to Detroit. They have a high crime rate, but the odds of you not being a victim of it are still pretty good. Just not as good as everywhere else. Hey, yeah, man, how you doing? How's your channel doing? Doing pretty good? Good. Yeah, he probably does. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I couldn't do it either, Kevin. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, man. Okay, me, Candy. Good job. Way to stay at it. Yeah, here, I'll make you a moderator so you can do that. Just so you can do that. And then people click on it and join. He should hopefully gets 1,000. Hey, can you guys join this thing so he can get his 1,000 subscribers? Having this, sometimes like, hey Audrey. Yeah, I'm trying to do it now, but sometimes it doesn't let me do it on here. I'll keep trying. As soon as it's not letting me do it. I don't know why this does this. I'm trying to. As soon as I can do it, I will. I'm trying now, but I can't like delete messages sometimes either. Why, I don't know. Hey Frisky, could you look up that name on YouTube and put a link to that guy's channel? This thing won't let me mod him right now just so he can do this. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been there. Yep, Kevin. I have, yeah. Oh, thank you. Hey, could you guys join that? Yeah, I just joined it. Yeah, I'm trying to. I just joined it. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Frisky. Yeah, I just joined it. It takes forever to get 1,000 subscribers. Oh, thank you, Jill. Thanks, Fun Finding. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Dave. Thank you, Frisky. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Yeah, good luck. No, it's hard to get now. Oh, here comes a train. Man, I didn't even have time to set my cameras up. See, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear it in the other place. God damn it. I didn't even have time to set them up. I should have heard it by the time. Oh well. I wasn't even close to setting that up. Yeah, we get like one trip a day up and back. But I don't know why I didn't hear it on the other. In 2 hours, it'll be coming back through. Yeah, I don't know if he tooted his horn. I'll tell you what could have got me, the wind. The wind's blowing the other way, you won't hear it, believe it or not. Well, I at least got him go. I barely turned the camera on, just standing outside of the van. Yeah, you're welcome, man. It's hard to get 1,000 subscribers, especially in this day and age. I'm sure if I started over, you'd never hear about me. Shit luck. I'll put a link to your channel on a little video tonight, because you'll get way more chance by people watching videos than happening to be on a chat. Daisy's back there drinking water. That's what I like about technology. Just driving down the highway, 26 degrees out, my dog's drinking water out of a bowl as I talk to people in different states. Yeah, it was a short train. They're not that big up here. Yeah, I barely turned on my GoPro. Oh, I'm gonna try and get him on the way back though, but God, I don't know why I didn't hear him. That is so weird. On certain nights you can hear him 25 miles away, and it's relatively calm tonight. I guess it was just where I was located and too much shit in between. I don't know. Yeah, no problem. I'll do it. Well, you guys, I think I've been setting some records for chats the last couple of days. I think I'm going to go inside and rearrange my penthouse. Hustlers and Playboys in alphabetical order. I'm going to come on later, though. I'm going to try and nail that train at 9 o'clock. So thanks for riding along. Appreciate it. Good luck on your channel, Coachism. Oh, that is a problem, Blue. Thank you for telling us that. See you, Joe. See you, Brian. Thank you, guys. Daisy, ready to party? All right, have a good night. Thanks a lot. Good luck, Coachisms. I'll be on the night. We'll party. All right, yeah, man. Yep. See you, Alethea. Bye, Dave.